Welcome to the partypoker.com Premier League Poker. I'm Jesse May, and it's time to be brave or hit the door running. If you're bottom of the table now, this could be your last chance here. Let's have a look at how the table stands. Final frames of the season. All eyes on that league table. The top four, that red zone, will go straight to the final table where points will be converted to chips. Phil Hellmuth guaranteed to be the chip leader, but both Eddy, Scharf, and You Are Healthy have been models of consistency. The purple zone's the playoff zone. Those four players will play head-up matches for the last two seats at the final. And the pink zone, that's the out of here. Relegated are those four out of the tournament. Coming up tonight, Tony G and Roland de Wolfe will not be at the final table, but they may enjoy their roles as spoilers.
I have a lot of influence on who does make it, so it'll be fun to be in there and just enjoy myself.
Make no mistake, I'm going to be playing my hardest out there.
The other four playing tonight are all mid-pack. Only 2 points separate them in the league, so it's all to play for.
I mean, it's very, very tight, but I fancy if I win one more, if I win one of the two, I'm definitely through.
I'm proud that I've held my own against these top players, and I've managed to pick up points in every heat I've played. But as I go into my last game, I'm in danger of being knocked out, and that is not where I wanted to be.
How do you handle the pressure? Do these six fancy it all to play for? As this 11th match of the Premier League season gets underway, and it's a real battle of who's got what to play for. The most pressure, perhaps, in this heat on Lieu and Vicki Korren, who have to get Vicky there, has to get a good finish. She's right now joint fourth position, but others with a lot to play for, of course, Kirill Gerasimov, the Russian, who, while only on 15 points, has to feel like he's controlling his own destiny. A second or a first is going to get him in. Anything can happen with two wild cards in here, Roland de Wolfe and Tony G. Tony G, they're the spoilers now.
You ready to go back to Russia?
It's one of the ironies of tournament play. If you're just trying to outlast, sometimes you find yourself with absolutely no chips, and you end up being first out. It's a hard balance to strike, isn't it?
Well, it's incredible. Like the last couple of heats we've played, they've gotten longer and longer. Last heat I played, I think we played 120 or so hands, just because everybody wanted to get some points. Usually they're done by 80 or 90.
It's true. And I was going to say, right away you can see the psychological games going on. De Wolfe knows that Vicki Korren can't afford to be playing too many pots, and he's come firing with the 8-deuce.
Well, Roland plays any two hands. And there we got a nice flop.
Yeah, this is great stuff for Vicky.
You have looked at your cards, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Surprised she called? Would you like to see a raise here early, or is she just trying to keep the pot small?
I think she's trying to keep the pot small. She's not interested in playing a big match here.
She'll be willing to go pretty deep now. Vicky's made the flush.
13,000.
And if it's no good, she'll just be bad luck.
Call.
Why has she decided to call? If it comes another spade, obviously Roland's drawing dead, but would you have raised there?
I would have raised here, especially in her position right now. She needs to get some points. She can't afford to see another spade.
I mean, if Roland bets big here, it looks like he is betting big.
16,000.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not big enough. She's going to call this.
It's not a very good card on the end.
Roland's got an 8 high, so he's got a pair of deuces.
Well, I mean, Roland's known to be playing airballs. There we go.
You got me.
Surprise, surprise.
Wow. He said you've got me if you've got a flush.
Really? That could have been bad. Although it wouldn't have been because of the last
I can never mean to have to bet it again.
Like Ralph Perry, your best friend. King Jack?
Having watched all these players all weekend, being reasonably confident you're going to be at the final table, Eddy,
Raise your push.
Do you sort of continually sort of redefine your strategies all the time about how you're going to play against players?
Well, definitely, I'm always aware of the image I have at the table, and I mean that's what this thing is all about: being aware of your table image and trying to get the most of it.
No, this seat.
Now, Liz has raised this under the gun, and this is really the first chip she's put in the pot in an aggressive fashion.
Maybe hit something.
Quick call from Tony with the dominated hand.
One pair, under pair.
He's outflopped her.
Check. Check.
And Liz must kind of feel, Eddie, that she's got no friends at this table. Everybody seems to be out for her.
6,000.
She's really under it. Oh, wow.
Raised, 10,000 more, 16 total.
I think that's exactly what Tony wanted to see. He's not going to get out of this hand.
Called.
Don't think about it, just put it in and hope.
Well, he's just called. Why do you think he didn't decide to re-raise? Is he going to bet? Oh, and she got there.
Check.
Has Tony misplayed this hand?
I don't think so. I don't think a raise in that situation would have been the right. He doesn't want to get all his chips in. He may be behind. He was not sure of this. And maybe give Liz another chance to bluff at the pot. Unfortunately for him, she now got the ace.
Yeah, she was drawn to an ace or a queen only, and
You called with the jack on the turn.
good pot for Liz Lieu. Do you like the way she played it?
Not really. Not really. Tony tried to trap her, and that he did.
I'll see you in the green room.
She was lucky on the end and caught the ace.
Vicki Korren was watching that pot with interest. Liz has now number 2, Vicky
Raised
number
to
1.
6,000 total. Pass.
They don't really seem to be the best of friends, do they?
Pass.
Well, they've got no choice, do they? They're both vying to be the top woman in this league. Perhaps just the top person, full stop. Liz is defending here against Roland's under-the-gun raise with deuce-3 suited.
7,000.
And she's leading.
Called.
Roland's a tricky guy to play against, isn't he?
Yes. See, that's the reason why Liz calls with the bottom pair, because she knows that Roland is capable of easily betting without anything.
Her eyes are on him, not the board. And that's a good scare card.
Check.
Is Roland going to take this?
I don't think so. Oh, he is.
14,000.
Well, it's about the only hand Liz can beat is nothing. And that's what Roland's been betting with all night long.
Well, Roland knows that Liz has a pair, and he bets, I think, the right amount for Liz to lay down a 7 or a 3.
You can see how serious every decision is here. Liz taking minutes over a decision most people would have. She called!
Oh, she calls. Unbelievable. Great call.
Look at Roland shaking his head. I think it's pretty clear.
Well, Roland's not a happy camper, I can tell you that.
His goose has been cooked. Well, this is the amount of time it took Roland to get knocked out the last time he played. He's already down to 41,000. And Liz Lieu, just guts really have gotten her to the top of this leaderboard. A bit of luck. On the table, their competitiveness and will to win is evident. The biggest personalities of the game have collided. Off the table, they've bonded, they've bantered, they've bet on each other. Poker has never been like this.
There's a lot of banter in the green room, a lot of verbal jousting, and a lot of egos. There's more ego in the green room than there is water in the Hoover Dam, but it makes it for a very fun and entertaining time. And when we get out on the felt, it's war.
Tony, you've tried to double up the most dangerous player on the table. Without
You think you're the most dangerous?
Much better worst player I've ever seen. You prick.
I need to knock you out.
But whenever I come over here, I'm having a good time hanging out with everybody. We're playing side games in the hotel. We're betting on pool matches. We're just having a good time, commentating on each other. I love that camaraderie.
Played great poker one more time. Great poker.
There's a strange divide between the mood on the table and the mood off it. Off the table, we're all good friends. There's a lot of gambling going on in the evenings on you know, other things where a lot of money is changing hands. It says 5 to 1.
It was 5 to 1. These are booked bets. The market.
So it's written there nicely, can I have it? And you go, now it's 9 to 2. But on the table, of course it gets more and more serious as the tournament progresses. Make no mistake, there's banter. You know, Kenna James sings songs and Devilfish and Phil Hellmuth have a bit of a musing needle and Yuha and Roland call each other fat. But underneath all that lightheartedness, they are all so desperate to beat each other.
Go!
The first Premier League for me has been fantastic. I mean, the experience, the atmosphere, the off-the-table chat, the bets we've had off the table has been fantastic for bonding, and the competitive spirit's right there. The best poker event I've ever participated in, and this is what poker's all about at the top level.
Raised to 6,000 total. We raised to 18,000 total.
Two nines for Liz. And de Wolfe, I guess Tony G opened up this pot with a raise, and that's why Liz has re-raised. What should de Wolfe do here with his 38,000?
Well, yeah, that's what he's going to do, all in. He doesn't have enough chips to slow play this hand. Doesn't make any sense.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
No wonder Vicky's mouth is hanging open. If she could see the cards, it's an automatic pass. But
38.
raise, re-raise, all in from de Wolfe. What do you think?
This needs some thinking, because Vicky has to think it over. If Liz loses this pot against de Wolfe or Tony G, then it might be best to just pass the hand. We have raise, re-raise. Jacks are probably not the best hand. She should know that by now. And she has Tony G still sitting behind, so he can have something too.
Who should she be thinking? Whose hand should she be thinking about most right now? Liz, Lieu, you think? Because Liz did make a re-raise. I mean, doesn't Liz figure to be very strong here?
Yes, absolutely. She can have something like the nines she does have right now.
What should I do, Roland?
But I think that you're going to call.
She's going to call, definitely. She's going to call.
Well, it's only 20,000.
Call.
And she could hardly get away from it, could she?
No, she can't get away from it. I mean, the way Roland has played, he can have not almost anything, but, I mean, 2 high cards. Ace King, Ace Queen would have been an acceptable play in this situation for him. So I think that was a pretty automatic call.
De Wolfe's all in, Coren off the hook, and Liz Lieu about to lose. Oh, nearly a third of her chips here. Eddy, you wonder if Liz could have played this hand differently to get away from it. But if the 9 comes, she'll feel better.
No jack.
This was hard for Liz to get away. I mean, even if de Wolfe calls, maybe Vicky's going to go all in. Maybe then she can fold the hand, but the way the hand was played, I don't think she did have a chance.
Tony G had the ace. But Liz looking for a 9 here. Anything else?
Ooh. There we go.
Unreal this week.
Unreal.
Unreal. Good luck, guys. Right, it's the whole week. The whole series. That's how it goes.
He's right about that, actually, Eddy.
I mean, when you run like that, what can you do?
It's nothing you can do, mate. Nothing.
He has not been running very good here this week, Roland de Wolfe. And
wow.
Last 2 matches, he never lasted more than half a dozen hands, really.
What more can I do? I can't do more as a poker player, but that's it. You know, get your money in ahead and hope it stands up. That's the game. It's been a great event, and I'll be back next time where the luck will be on my side and I'll win.
A merciful end to Roland's Premier League, and the rest of the table will be relieved to know they didn't get the goose egg. They all need points.
Raise to 6,000 total.
Here comes Tony G with the King 8. Liz, she's suspicious.
Pass. Pass, call.
I've got a monster.
Me too.
He does.
2 monsters.
How could you just call this if you're Ian Frazer? He doesn't want to get a race in? If Tony has a
I don't
pair?
know. Ian does funny things at times. He often just a smooth call, big hands. He slow plays a lot of hands.
Check.
Well, Tony G's got the flush draw. Ian's got top pair, top kicker. Tony G might not get away from this.
This is true. If Ian Frazer raises here, it's hard to say what.
20.
Raise to 20.
I've seen Tony go all in this spot before.
Yeah, but the situation was a bit different.
Re-raise.
He's going all in.
Oh, he does.
All in and a call.
And a quick call from Frazer. You think strategically perhaps Tony G made a bit of a mistake here? Should he have just peeled off a card? Did he want to go for it?
I think it would have been the right thing just to peel off a card. I don't think that Ian Frazer is the type of person in this particular spot to make a move at the pot, especially with that flop.
A club, though. Old Dash Frazer. He's got a game in hand, but needs points. And it's...
Bye.
I think it's Tony G who's out.
Bye to Lithuania.
Bye bye.
Very thanks.
See you. See you.
Bye
No,
bye.
it's fair.
Well,
You all fight it out. See you.
Bye-bye.
the only thing you can say is that this Premier League match now down to the 4 players who have something at stake.
I'm very happy with the result because now it's so fair for the remaining 4 players that they fight it out, and you know, me and Roland don't have any influence on the result, so it's fantastic. I'm happy because of that. It's going to play loose and aggressive like that. I mean, I have nothing to lose.
Who's the best out there, do you think, at this chess match, knowing the strategy and that sort of thing?
I think Liz is. Well, Kirill actually is, but he's the chip dog right at the moment. So if
Pass.
I'd say with even chips, Kirill would have the advantage, but Liz is doing very well.
Also, I mean, as far as the leaderboard goes, Kirill has less flexibility, doesn't he?
That's true. He must get in the top 2. That's an absolute must for him. Whereas Liz, Vicky, and Ian can all be satisfied with 2 or 3 points. At least these points will get them into the playoffs.
Frazer has made a total of 11,000, and
Drop or re-raise?
Oh. It's a tough line to draw in the sand with King Jack.
Call.
I checked on.
Checked.
The last time Ian did that to Kirill, Kirill went all in on a semi-bluff, and Ian had flopped 2 pair.
Well, Kirill got something here. Let's see if he does it again.
Do you like the fact that he called before the flop instead of re-raising? Or
Yeah, he wants to get some chips. He knows that Ian is capable of going all in, and then he'll have to fold again. That's he doesn't want to do that.
Frazer checked in the dark, but I mean, right now Gerasimov has a hand that he's going to
11.
imagine he feels like he's going to have to win with. This check in the dark has been very successful for Frazer in this
Raise
Premier
30
League. but
total.
That's interesting.
It's an odd play now.
But you see, Ian does know he can push Kirill around because Kirill's the only person at the table who needs to get into second. And he's not going to lay this hand down because there are too many cards Frazer could have.
The raise is 19,000 more, and it looks like Gerasimov has Frazer where he wants him.
Nice.
All in.
Nice play, Kirill.
Almost all in, anyway. And Eddy, I'm just wondering if perhaps Frazer has he just underestimated Gerasimov a little bit, or it's a legitimate play.
Well, for us it's easy to say because we have we see all the cards. I think he has underestimated him a bit, but the fact is that he knows that he can push Kirill around up to a certain point.
Pass.
But that's a big, big moment for Gerasimov, and Vicki Korren and Lieu are sitting there saying to Ian, how could you give him all those chips? This is the guy we're supposed to knock out.
Feeling better.
Pass.
Last hand of the level.
Pass.
And Frazer folding from the button. King 9. Maybe
Call.
Frazer's made up his mind. He's not raising from the button anymore unless he can stand a re-raise.
But you can see how this influences his play. He's played a couple of hands against Gerasimov, lost a couple. Oh boy.
Isn't the most likely scenario a split pot here, or is the... No, that kicker's going to play most times, is it? Just Gerasimov pimping Lieu, and she'll have to think her sixes are good.
And she has a straight draw. I mean, it's not a bad hand for Lieu. These are the situations that where you can lose a huge pot and think you're ahead, where you're absolutely way underdog.
Right.
Raise to 17,000.
I mean, she'd never believe that no matter what Kirill has, she's only 12% to win this hand, but that's the story.
Well, he's thinking he saw Liz limp in with kings before.
She, because of the point standing, is more able to play a big pot right now than him. These are the decisions that define you as a player in the tournament, don't they?
It's difficult to just call because the next card is definitely going to hurt you.
Right. So he stuck 25,000 in,
Re-raise,
perhaps
25
with the
more.
idea of sticking in no more. If Liz calls, he's done with it. If she raises, he's done with it. Hopefully she'll fold. is that it?
Those are 4 questions all at once. What do I know?
It's now 25,000 more on Liz. How much you got?
She's capable of going all in here. She's done it before. And she has him, well, a bit covered, but Kirill has a lot of chips. But
She's re-raised him. It's like a minimum re-raise.
Raise 42 more.
It's a minimum re-raise because she's not sure where she's at, and if Kirill could have gone all in right now, she would have folded. I'm pretty sure.
Neither of these players has any back down. He might just re-raise her a minimum amount.
Pass.
6-4 is the only hand he could beat.
Yeah.
And he folded.
He folded.
And Lieu won it.
It's 25 to Liz.
That was
She gets
gutsy stuff.
Raise 25 more.
A win here by Lieu, probably going to cement her status in the top 4. Others are in a dogfight. Vicki Korren right now under tremendous pressure. Were she to go out in this 4th position, she'd get 19 points, which theoretically could be enough to get her into the final 8. Unfortunately, she is currently losing all potential tiebreakers with others who might also arrive on 19. So, in essence, Eddy, Vicki has to get a 3rd here to guarantee her position in the final 8.
I dropped one.
A red or
Not a move, I'm not that good.
9,000 on Liz.
Liz is definitely in the playing mood. She called a flop a couple of hands ago with 10-9 suited. They called a raise and wants to see the flop again, which makes her very dangerous as well.
Seems like, Eddie, she thinks sooner or later she's going to trap Ian, though he has much the same sort of plan against her.
Well, up to now, her plan's working.
It's tricky, though, isn't it? Top pair on a raggedy board against a raiser.
Yes.
17,000.
Can Frazer win this with a raise? I mean, for
Ian, I think, is fed up with somebody
Re-raise.
pushing him around.
50,000 more.
He's going to re-raise it. It's going to be interesting.
This is the car crash, and it's just a question of Lou's read of the situation. Ian's representing a huge hand. But she's got top pair. You think she's capable?
Yeah, she's capable.
Wow.
Nice fold.
And a great raise from Frazer.
Slow down.
The power. That's what you have to do to pick up chips. And are the other players starting to give the Razor the respect his record deserves? He's chip leader, and he'll be back for more on the other side. 5 and 10 starting now. Does Vicky, with only 8 big blinds here, does she have a pre-flop move that's not all in? Or do you think that if she decides to play a hand, sticking them all in is her best bet?
Pass.
That could very well be, although it's...
Call.
Limp in. That could be enough.
Yeah. She has to know that if she re-raises, she's most likely to get called, because she does not have enough chips for the other guy to throw away.
Call. Check.
See, that I wouldn't have done that with her chip stack. I would have raised here, and preferably, okay, then go all in. It must be, but a regular raise would be okay.
Now a bit dangerous pair out there.
Check.
Who's going to win this pot?
15.
The guy with nothing to
15.
lose. I don't know what Liz is thinking about, but as it turns out, yeah.
You see, that's the problem Vicky has right now. You have to see if somebody else is steadily outplaying you on the flop. Then just don't look at the flop. Raise and get it.
Get like
get as
7, 9.
as most chips in as you can.
3-5.
Kirill's having a tough time of it because third place here could be enough, but it's probably not. And if Kirill does get third here, it'll all depend on what happens in the next match.
I'm all in. Right, it's 15 more.
Wow.
Call.
Vicky's got the boots. And Liz, Lou, quick call. Yeah. Liz limped to trap, didn't she?
Yeah.
This is the easiest target.
And just in the nick of time for Vicki Korren. This is going to change things dramatically as far as the league table goes. If the ace... She's only 9%.
Good.
Has that ended it? I think it has.
Has ended it.
The case ace. Ace is full for Vicki Korren. Teacup beaten 2 pair. Well, very tight now in the bottom 3. What's your prediction how it's going to go from here?
I think if Vicky plays this correctly, she should stand back a bit, wait, because obviously one player is going to go out soon. Kirill is going to do some kind of attacking with the blinds at 5,000, 10,000. He can't wait too long.
Same hand for Lieu, same position, nearly the same stack.
Right, so 25 total.
And she has a bit of a different take on it, doesn't she?
Yeah. Actually, the players, E and Frazer that can now bully are, well, now when, as Kirill got some more chips, he can bully all three of them.
What's Kirill looking at? It's 15,000 to call. He has 100,000 even. 10 in and oh wow.
Ooh, this can be dangerous.
Well, he's had to make some big decisions before, but it's pretty much his Premier League right now. Feels like a bit of a cult deck. He shipped him. Is she calling? Can he get her off the hand?
-1.
Very difficult for Liz to call here. Very difficult. You said it before that Liz had a different approach with this hand, and I think it's going to backfire. It's very difficult for her to call this. She can be easily dominated. Kirill's not going to do this with much less than ace-10.
What kind of thoughts are going through Liz's head right now?
Well, if I always knew that. No, it's she has to put in another 70,000 in the pot. Is that about right? 74,000 in a 130,000 pot.
Bring it on, she said. 30 seconds left.
29.
And the thing is, if she puts him on a smaller pair than a jack,
Let's gamble,
she
Kirill.
has to call.
Oh my gosh!
It's not a gamble.
She said, "Let's gamble."
Yeah, she's calling.
This is and he's going to have the exact hand she wants to see.
One more to put them all in. Call in, all in.
He has the exact hand. This is an unbelievable call.
That is unbelievable.
I don't know what the deciding factor was, Eddy.
Well, she said, let's gamble. I think she put him on a smaller pair, and then she says, okay, let's take the coin flip. Pot is big. Kirill is not a happy camper now.
No, this could mean Vicki Korren guaranteeing to be in the playoffs now, but Lieu, if she can make this hold, they'll have kicked Gerasimov out of this Premier League. He's all in. And dominated. Now that opens up some split pots. Nobody's saying nothing. That's changed nothing. A 4 or 8 for the split. 10 for the win for Gerasimov. Anything else? Ace-Jack is going to hold.
That's it for Kirill.
The Russian Kirill Gerasimov, he'll feel like he's just been knocked out of this Premier League, but really that's not so. 2 points pushing him into the playoff zone, but it's mathematically tough. He needs 2 things to happen the next match. He needs Andy Black to get 6th and the Devilfish not to win. That combination would keep Gerasimov in the top 8. Black's 3rd place leaves him ahead of Gerasimov for the tiebreaker. But oh, the drama. Lieu, Coren, and Frazer now playing, and a win by any of the 3 would likely secure their place in the final. Liz has limped here, and Vicky with a big hand.
Ooh.
20 more.
Statement.
Liz ain't really got much, but what does she suspect? thinks she has live cards. Liz has made so many great reads today. I'm surprised she's calling, but it's very reasonable, isn't it?
Yes, it's reasonable. And I'm not sure if
Battle of the Beauties, we call this one.
if she really has a good read on Vicky.
Check.
That's the one card Vicky didn't want to see, but she is still in great shape.
Yeah, that stops the betting, kind of.
Oh, I can't answer.
Vicky, sort of the variation play on Phil Hellmuth's talking to the screen. She's talking to Ian, and he's not in that. Check, 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 check. Or 3 of them anyway.
I'm all in. All in?
Oh, it's a bit of a puzzle for Vicky.
Yeah.
She did well there. She induced the bluff.
Yeah.
Liz is drawing dead. And, I mean, I guess that was the beauty of Vicky's check on the flop. She figured if she went all in, she could only get called if she was beaten. She might induce a bluff.
I don't know if she thought that. The heart was a key card for her that she could not throw away her hand. You know, she didn't like that ace, and but she wasn't about to throw away the hand. She did not want to get re-raised or put the money in voluntarily.
The ladies in this tournament showing there really is no gender difference in poker. Liz Lieu has been making a good living at the game for years.
I just want to be one of the best top players that people have respect and people, you know, look up to. And basically, I want them to follow in my footsteps.
And Vicki Korren's $1 million win put a stamp on what others have known. She's not just a pretty face. She can play.
I think the wider world are probably a bit sceptical, even now, even though I've now won a title. I think they still look and say, well, that's just a dippy blonde girl, she can't be any good. So as a player, I'm excited about the chance to try and prove that I can hold my own against, you know, some of the best players, and I may be not as dumb as I look.
Don't forget our competition. For your chance to win a trip to Monte Carlo, correctly answer the following question. Which of the following is the highest ranking hand? A, 2 pairs, B, a flush, C, a straight. Enter at www.channel4.com/poker. Welcome back. Is it 2-on-1 or every player for himself? The latter, I think, and not a whole lot of chatter going on. Too much at stake, perhaps. A good one and a bad one for Liz Lieu.
Raised to 30,000 total price.
Vicky's showing the strain, I think. Minimum raise, and Frazer looking at 2 pictures. His MO has been to call in this spot.
I don't like
I ain't
to.
re-raised you yet. I think it might be the time now. That's all.
You don't like the call?
No, I don't like calling here, out of position.
Well, they said it might be the time. I think it probably is.
I'll have a look.
Huh? Call.
I'll have a look. Just in case an ace comes.
Believe me, I wouldn't raise you if I didn't have a hand. Because of what you said earlier.
Ooh.
What a flop for Ian.
This is a nice flop for Ian. Let's see what he does with it.
Glad I didn't raise you now.
Check.
Does Liz buy it?
Yeah, Liz gonna buy it. I'm sure she...
Check.
Oh. See how much I know. Uh-oh, that was a perfect card for Ian.
And he needs to make a bet here, doesn't he? Or can he check raise? Can he get a bet out of Liz again?
No, I think the bet is okay. Yeah, he could have gotten a check raise in there, but she's never going to call that check raise, I don't think. Whereas now, he could actually get more out of the pot. Bet on the turn, bet on the river.
Liz has been put to some difficult decisions. This, another one. Basically, her hand looks good unless Frazer has what he has.
50. Raised 50.
That was the other good option about betting, that he does get raised. And that's what I said before, that Liz is willing to play big pots, and it's not a real big hand in this situation.
She can only beat a bluff, in a sense.
Yeah, actually, she could only beat a bluff, a flush draw.
How many more you got, please? What's the blues on counter odds?
Well, the answer is Frazer covers her by about 60 or 70. She's... Oh... She's got about 150 left.
All in.
This announcement she did not like, I'll tell you that.
I told you I won't put them all in unless I've got a good hand.
He can sell a hand well.
All I need to know, your ace 10 is good.
Pass.
Liz took the hint, but the big news here, Ian Frazer closing in on a nearly unassailable position. I don't think anyone in this Premier League, Eddy, has lost when they've had 450,000 or more chips. He was not highly regarded, Ian Frazer, before coming into this tournament, although perhaps he should have been. He's definitely won more money in this six-seater format than anyone else in the field.
That's true.
Cool. No raise.
Big flop for... Oh, wow, this is going to be all over pretty much, isn't it?
Check.
Wow.
Vicky's got two pair and Liz has got the top.
Yeah, that's... the money's going to go all in here. This hand
All in
plays
and a
by
call.
itself.
All of a sudden, bang, bang, Liz Lieu. Couple cold deck hands, perhaps. And, unless she catches a second pair, Liz is going to be the severe short stack on this table.
Well, you can always catch runner-runner,
There's a few more.
runner-runner pair, runner-runner flush. I've seen that happen to me a couple of times.
Yeah, it's Coren all in. Spade, 6.
There we have runner-runner pair, queens and sixes.
And Vicky's out.
Yes.
You might use that counter.
That's very unlucky.
Good game, Vicky.
Well done. Well played.
3 points for Coren. That will ensure her place in the playoff stages, but no more. And for Liz, it's been an up and down roller coaster, but she is in the heads up. Look at that hand again. You knew that the turn card gave all the possibilities. And Liz hit her second pair, which counterfeited Vicky's two.
I was really playing a tactical game today, which is not my nature, but I was hanging on for the points. Unfortunately, the point of hanging on is that when you flop two pair, you get all your money in, and that's where you get the chips. That bit of the plan went wrong.
Tense moments in the green room as players await the final results, frantically adding up the points, and an argument between Roland and Tony. Who really came last? Roland, I'm sorry it was you.
No, it's me and it heads up, mate.
No, I had a fourth.
No.
Yeah, I had a fourth.
It's heads up today. I beat you. That was the final.
No, I had a fourth.
You can ask him.
You can ask him. He's already told me.
They put you on the bottom of the ladder. That's right.
No.
The only one relegated by a tiebreaker. You go like a baby.
Get a third, a fifth, a fifth, and a sixth.
I had a fourth. Tiebreaker, I beat you today.
I'm going to go mad if I'm at the bottom because he is at the bottom.
More or less.
No, of course. I got more points. I got more higher finishes because I had two bagels.
No, really. It's all right. Don't get
This match has come head up between the chip leader, the Razor, Ian Frazer, and Liz Lieu, and a lot to play for, Eddie, but Ian, of course, has a chance to have a lot of chips in the final. Perhaps more at stake here for Liz Lieu, though.
Best of luck, Liz.
Yes, definitely. Liz has to win this to be in the final four. Ian Frazer does not have to win it. He will probably be in the final four. He still has a chance in his last match.
I just looked over there and I thought, where's all your chips gone? See them that side.
I remember those. Ian just hoped the other Liz doesn't have ace-5. He won't stand a chance. Oh, ace-3, even worse.
All in.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
cool.
This is trouble for Liz Lieu. The only good news for her is that it's a big pot.
At least it wasn't an ace, the other one. I think that would have been a worse card for you, wouldn't it?
2-1 against Frazer, looking to take 3 from 5.
Oh.
And he's looking good. He's been the man of the moment in this second half of this Premier League. A great finisher, Frazer, and he's done it.
Thank you, Liz.
Eddy Scharf, that is going to have a big influence on the leaderboard.
Oh, yes. Ian Frazer has taken over second spot with 24 points and 1 heat to go. He's won 3 out of 5. If he wins next one, he's even with Phil Hellmuth.
It's a fascinating game, and the tension's unbelievable. I mean, everyone's pumped up for it, and I'm loving it.
Big win for Ian Frazer, and with 11 down and 1 to go, Frazer needs but a point to guarantee his spot in the top 4. Liz Lieu will have to wait on other results, mostly the fate of Juha Helppi, to see if she can make that automatic road to the final table. And Vicki Korren guaranteed to be in the playoff spots, but no better. Andy Black and Dave Olliott, all eyes will be upon them. They're in desperate need of a result to get in the playoff spots. Next time, our 12 players will become 8 as 2 more join Tony G and Roland de Wolfe on the sidelines. 4 will be facing each other head up, and 3 will be joining Phil Hellmuth at that final table. Who will it be?